Question 26, this is from real numbers. Concept tested is proving that a given number is an irrational number. Given that root 3 is irrational, prove that 5 plus 2 root 3 is also irrational. How do you go about it? We're essentially going to assume the contrary. We're going to say that, hey, 5 plus 2 root 3 is rational is what we're going to say. We're going to say this is rational. This is the assumption we are making. So we are assuming to the contrary, to the opposite. If 5 plus 2 root 3 is a rational number, then we can express it in the form of a p by q, where p and q are coprime integers such that q is not equal to 0. So 5 plus 2 root 3 will be equal to a p by q, where p comma q are coprime integers. And obviously q is not equal to 0. Now 5 plus 2 root 3 is equal to p by q. Then 2 root 3 is equal to p by q minus a 5, taking this 5 to the other side. So this can be written as, taking q as a common denominator, p minus 5q divided by q is what it basically becomes. Now basically 2 root 3 is equal to so much. So root 3 will be equal to, dividing both sides by 2, p minus 5q by 2q. P minus 5q divided by 2q. We can reason it multiple ways. We'll do it two ways, right? One, p is an integer, q is an integer. So p minus 5q will be an integer. So the numerator is an integer. Q is an integer. Therefore 2q is also an integer. And obviously if q is not equal to 0, 2q will not be equal to 0. It's an integer which is not equal to 0. Translating to the fact that an integer divided by another integer which is not equal to 0 is a rational number. So we get root 3 is a rational number. But look at it, this contradicts what is given here. It says that root 3 is an irrational number which is known to us. Whereas what have we got? We got root 3 is a rational number. Why is this contradiction happening? This contradiction is happening because of the incorrect assumption that we made. We made an assumption that 5 plus 2 root 3 is rational, right? So that is why we got this. We know that this results in root 3 being an irrational number, but we know this is not true because root 3 is actually irrational. This contradiction is because of the assumption root 3, 5 plus 2 root 3 is rational is an incorrect assumption, and hence we have proved that 5 plus 2 root 3 is an irrational number, right? This assumption is incorrect. So it mentioned this part, reasoning it out to being a rational number, can be done a little differently also, right? So I can write this root 3 is equal to, go back to this, p by 2q, right? So p by q, half of p by q minus, essentially we have 5 by 2. 5q by 2q will essentially make it as minus 5 by 2. We know p by q is a rational number, which means half of a rational number is a rational number, minus 5 by 2 which is a rational number. Rational number minus rational number is a rational number. So we can say this results in root 3 being rational, and then the explanation goes exactly the same as what we did, right? Root 3 is rational is incorrect because we know that root 3 is irrational. Why was that happening? Because we assumed 5 plus 2 root 3 to be a rational number. That assumption is incorrect. Therefore 5 plus 2 root 3 is irrational is how we go about it, right? So this step of establishing that what we get in this part to be a rational number can be done in two ways, right? The one that we did in the last slide and the one we did in this slide.
Before you leave, I want you to do two things. One, sign up at online.maxtute.com to get started with CBSE Class 10 Math online tuitions. It takes all of 5 minutes and less than 3 steps to get started. So get it done today. And second thing, I want you to subscribe to this channel if you already haven't, and turn on notifications so that you get notified every time a new video is uploaded. And also, spread the word about this channel to your friends and classmates.